Me personally, when it comes to these musician biopics, I much prefer when the actor or actress actually sings themselves in the film. It helps me immerse myself into the on-screen version of the singer. When you hear the actor's actual voice coming out of them, it just makes for a more immersive storytelling experience and also for a much better performance as well. So when you have Rami Malek in Bohemian Rhapsody just lip syncing actual Freddie Mercury, doesn't really have the same effect. And that's what they do with Whitney Houston in this film. Naomi Ackie doesn't actually sing in the film, she lip syncs. And it's funny because they do a good trick in here, because in some scenes she's singing and you hear the voice, you're like, okay, that's doesn't sound exactly like Whitney Houston, and that's because they actually remixed a few of the tracks to make it sound a little bit different. But in reality, it's still Whitney Houston, and Naomi Ackie is not doing the singing. I'm not going to harp on Naomi Ackie too much for not doing the singing, because her actual acting in the film outside of the lip syncing is quite good. You can tell she really cares about this role and she's really giving it her all. I'd like to see her in more films, because she proves to me in this film that she's a good actress. Because the only thing I'd seen her in before this was that pointless role in Rise of Skywalker, the character whose name I do not remember at all. She is by far the positive of this film, because the film itself, it's standard musician biopic stuff you've seen countless times before. They come from nowhere, they shoot to superstardom, fame gets to their head, drugs, downward spiral, yada yada yada, you've seen it all. And this film just has surprisingly no style or flair to it to make up for the rinse and repeat kind of storytelling. I'm not the kind of person who usually takes note to that in terms of a film having no distinct directing style, but this film just came across as so uninspired in the writing and the directing, the filmmaking and whatnot. It just became very noticeable to me. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about, what is it, Whitney Houston, I Wanna Dance With Somebody Now. Not a boring film necessarily, it's watchable, mainly because of Naomi Akkie's performance. And there are some moments in the film that are kind of surprising. Like the most surprising part of it to me was her dad's role in her career. But again, there's nothing new in here that you haven't seen in Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man, Walk the Line, all the other musician biopics. You've seen it all before. I'm starting to feel like now you've seen one, you've seen them all. And Whitney Houston, I Wanna Dance With Somebody, par for the course for these types of films. It's just a lot more uninspired than all the other ones that I've seen.